Today I want to read a poem by Wallace Stevens, very original American poet of the mid-20th century. What was unusual about Wallace Stevens was that he was so very ordinary. During the day he was an insurance company executive in Hartford, Connecticut, and he would go to work every day on the train or in his car, and sometimes on the journey or in the evenings he would write bits of poetry on little bits of paper, and when he got to his office he would hand these bits of paper to his secretary, and she would type them up and file them away in his poetry file. And he was in some ways a very orderly, profoundly middle-class American businessman. But beneath it all, he had a very unusual way of writing, of seeing the world, and he liked to challenge people to understand what he was writing about and sort of open their minds to different ways of looking at things. And the poem I'm going to read is called 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. And it's just that, really. It's 13 ways of looking at a blackbird that it demonstrates how many different ways there are of looking at just about anything. See what you think of this. 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird by Wallace Stevens. 1. Among 20 snowy mountains, the only moving thing was the eye of the blackbird. 2. I was of 3 minds, like a tree, in which there are 3 blackbirds. 3. The blackbird whirled in the autumn winds. It was a small part of the pantomime. 4. A man and a woman are one. A man and a woman and a blackbird are one. 5. I do not know which to prefer, the beauty of inflections or the beauty of innuendos, the blackbird whistling or just after. 6. Icicles fill the long window with barbaric glass. The shadow of the blackbird crossed it to and fro, the mood traced in the shadow, an indecipherable cause. 7. O thin men of Haddam, why do you imagine golden birds? Do you not see how the blackbird walks around the feet of the women about you? 8. I know noble accents and lucid inescapable rhythms, but I know too that the blackbird is involved in what I know. 9. When the blackbird flew out of sight, it marked the edge of one of many circles. 10. At the sight of blackbirds flying in a green light, even the boards of euphony would cry out sharply. 11. He rode over Connecticut in a glass coach. Once a fear pierced him in that he mistook the shadow of his equipage for blackbirds. 12. The river is moving, the blackbird must be flying. 13. It was evening all afternoon. It was snowing, and it was going to snow. The blackbird sat in the cedar limbs. So there you are. There's 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird by Wallace Stevens, the very ordinary businessman who was very far from being ordinary. Thanks for listening.